bull market is going to last as long as we have fiat currency, pretty much. This whole credit bubble is going to implode. And so we're going to have to go through a protracted economic decline and just buy them now, before they eventually explode, which they will do. Companies are worried that the tariffs that Trump is looking to impose may also be applied to gold.
Peter Schiff just dropped a massive warning. Gold is flowing back into the U.S., but not for the reasons you think. Could Trump's looming tariffs trigger a gold wipeout? Are private investors racing against time? And is Fort Knox really getting restocked? Or is something much bigger happening behind the scenes? The answers will shock you. Stay tuned, because if Peter's right, everything is about to change.
I don't think that gold is coming in because the U.S. government purchased it. I think it's either coming in because there are private interests that are purchasing it, or maybe companies are worried that the tariffs that Trump is looking to impose may also be applied to gold. And so maybe they want to get the gold into the country while they can do it without being subject to tariffs. It's also possible that some of that gold belongs to the U.S. government, and they're trying to get it back into Fort Knox, and maybe they had loaned it out, and now they're getting it back. I don't know, but I don't think the U.S. government has spent any new money buying gold. Well, all fiat currencies don't have much of a future unless they, become legitimate currencies. They got to get backed up by something. Now, a lot of these countries have dollar reserves or reserves of other currencies like the euro or the yen, and they use those foreign exchange reserves to back up their currencies. But everybody needs to use gold. I mean, gold is real money, and it should be the cornerstone of any monetary system. So to the extent that a government is issuing currency, it should have gold to back it up. It shouldn't just be able to conjure, paper currency out of thin air. Because the problem is you can't trust governments. When they can just create money without any discipline, they'll create too much of it. Because it gives the politicians, a get out of jail free card on deficits. And it allows politicians to promise voters something for nothing, because they can run deficits in an environment where they can print the money to fund them. But that inevitably destroys the value of the money. But if there's some discipline on governments, and you get discipline when you have a gold standard, then if governments want to spend money, they need to collect taxes. And that's not as appealing. A lot of people are in favor of government programs as long as they don't have to pay for them. But the minute they realize that there's a cost and they're going to have to pay it, then those programs aren't nearly as appealing. I think what we're headed for is going to be worse than 2008. First of all, in other countries, like you mentioned, in Australia, in Canada, they're already seeing gold move to a much higher degree. Because we're way up in terms of those currencies over the past couple of years, because those currencies have fallen as the price of gold has been rising. So, those countries haven't collapsed, right? The people are still surviving this, huge move up in the price of gold. But I think that when gold really moves up, $5,000 or more, $10,000, $20,000 an ounce, when you get that kind of a move, I think it's because the U.S. dollar is really, in almost a free fall. I think the dollar is going to be losing ground, and that means prices are going to be going up. So it's not like gold's going to go to $10,000 or $20,000 an ounce, and your grocery bills aren't also going to go way up. They're not going to go up proportionate to that, but they're going to be much, much higher than they are now. And they're going to be going up, and it's not just food, it's going to be energy and pretty much everything that's going to be getting more expensive. Because we're just going to be having a run on the currency, run on the dollar. I think the dollar is going to lose its status as the reserve currency. In fact, I think if gold is anywhere near 10, 20,000, it means the dollar has lost that status. People are fleeing dollars and buying gold. And in that environment, we can't run these massive trade deficits that we just reported today. So consumer goods are going to get much more expensive in the United States, which means the standard of living comes down. Interest rates are going to be much higher. This whole credit bubble is going to implode. And so we're going to have to go through a protracted economic decline. Now, is it possible that, AI and robotics and all that might help transform the economy in the future to make it a lot more productive? Sure. But there's a lot of stuff that could go wrong between now and then. I wouldn't wait for that. It's going to be like waiting for Godot. So what you should do is just buy. This is a nice little pullback here. We got above 29.50 and now we're back below 28.50. So we've had about $100 pullback. That's about as much as you're going to get. That's how the bull market has been. You have to pay up. Otherwise, you're not gonna buy it. But silver is still very cheap. If you think I missed the boat on gold, I mean, you didn't miss it. But you may want to buy silver. It's still below $32 an ounce. Silver is ridiculously cheap, so you could buy that right now, and maybe buy gold later. But also the gold mining stocks, which you alluded to, I think that's where you should really be buying. I mean, because the gold mining stocks are not that much higher than they were when gold was 2,400. So, you could really just, take a gift horse there and just buy them now, before they eventually explode, which they will do. It's hard to say. You might have thought it was going to be these good earnings that were just released, but we got a bunch of earnings that came out and most of the stocks went down, even if they beat their earnings. But even the stocks that didn't beat, that missed, the earnings were still great compared to the prior year and relative to the stock prices. So there's just so much negativity in the sector. And I think it's just because the analysts that follow these stocks don't believe in gold. They expect the price to be much lower in the future than it is today. And so that clouds their judgment for what these companies are likely going to earn in the future, what they're worth now. And I think people are making money, or at least they were until the last couple of weeks, in tech stocks and other type of stocks that are a lot more exciting than gold stocks, have certainly performed better over the last 5 or 10 years than gold stocks. And a lot of other people have been distracted by Bitcoin, which obviously has gone up a lot over the last 5 or 10 years. And I think that's stolen some of the retail thunder out of the price of gold, and probably the gold mining stocks. Ever since all these Bitcoin ETFs were launched a little over a year ago, I think a lot of stock market investors that may have bought mining stocks decided to buy crypto stocks or, Bitcoin ETFs. I think that's going to end up being a very bad decision for them. But that may be one of the reasons why these stocks are still so cheap and nobody is really paying attention to how good the fundamentals are. They never really turned them off. They slowed them down a bit, with quantitative tightening, but money supply expanded about 5% M2 last year. So they didn't turn off the printers. They just don't have them in overdrive like they have had, and they will. Look, initially, they used inflation to prop up the economy, to prop up the financial markets, to prop up the government. But when that inflation became so unbearable on Main Street, they finally had to do something about it, right? So, but when rates got up to about 5.25% and banks started to fail, that's when the Fed stopped hiking. And then when it became clear that the economy was, turning around, they started to cut. And they've paused the cuts because, inflation has really spiked back up. But I think that eventually they're going to resume the cuts because the economy is going to continue to weaken. But inflation is going to continue to strengthen. And so that is the dichotomy that the markets don't appreciate. But when the Fed is faced with that dilemma, it, I think, will err on the side of trying to stimulate the economy. And, they'll just allow inflation to get worse. Now, they're not going to say that. They're just going to, pretend that inflation is going to come down by itself or that they've already done enough and we just have to wait a little longer for inflation to work its way back down to 2%. But it's more likely to go above 10% than go back down to 2%. I think gold's going to move up much faster. And I also think when they start to do that, that's when the U.S. dollar starts to really decline on a relative basis related to the euro and the pound and the yen and all these other currencies that it's been strengthening against. And if we have $3,000 gold or close to it, in an environment where the US dollar index is strong, imagine what gold's going to be trading like when the US dollar index is weak. Right? Because that's when gold really shines, is when it has a weak dollar. The fact that it's been able to shine with the headwind of a strong dollar just shows you how strong the underlying trend is for higher gold prices.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that for silver as well, because silver in other currencies, I mean, if you look at the Australian dollar, for example, it is already beating its 2011 high. It just is not beating it in US dollar yet because the index was at 75 back in 2011, whereas the US dollar index today is at about 107.
Yeah, I think the Australian dollar back then was like $1.10. It was worth more than the US dollar. And so now, what is it, 65 cents or 62 cents? I forget exactly where it is. But yeah, the Aussie dollar has almost been cut in half. And so that means that when silver was 50 in Australia, it was cheaper than silver is right now at 32. The politicians are doing nothing. What's happening with Doge is good, but it isn't enough to get to the root cause of the problem. The best thing that Doge is doing is calling attention to government waste, fraud, and abuse, which is good. But the Republicans in the House just voted to pass a budget with only one Republican having the guts to vote against it. And they proposed a budget that increases the deficits beyond what they were under Biden. So the problem gets worse. And they also included a provision to increase the debt ceiling from 36 trillion, a level which we've already surpassed, right? So we're already above the ceiling, but they're going to raise it to 40 trillion. And Trump is in favor of this. This is how we got into this mess, by continuously kicking the can down the road and raising that debt ceiling every time we get to it. The fact that they haven't taken the opportunity not to raise the ceiling shows you that they're not serious about ever balancing this budget, because the only way to do it is to leave the ceiling intact and force the government to cut spending. The bull market is going to last as long as we have fiat currency, pretty much. I mean, look, when the Federal Reserve was established in 1913, gold was $20 an ounce. Now it's almost 3,000. So, I mean, this is a long trend. And it's not that gold has changed. The value of the paper money has changed. Because when we first established this country in 1789, we ratified the Constitution, and there was the Coinage Act of 1789 that defined a dollar. And gold was $20 an ounce in 1789. And so 120 years later, when we created the Federal Reserve, gold was still $20 an ounce. It hadn't changed. The dollar had the same value in terms of gold when we created the Federal Reserve. And so that shows you that gold prices don't have to go up. They can stay the same if we have sound money. But the Federal Reserve, of course, began to print too much money. And then in 1933, Roosevelt devalued that dollar, and the price of gold went from 20 to 35. And it kind of stayed fixed there, although it was artificially suppressed until late 1970. And then Nixon devalued the dollar a couple times. But when he got to about $42, he just said uncle and just defaulted. But now, the dollar has been completely detached from gold ever since 1971, and that's why the dollar's value has accelerated its decline and has gone from 42 in 1971 to 2,950 last week or on Monday. But now we've pulled back $100. We're about 2,850 now. So it's a sale.
This is big. Gold, tariffs, and a potential shakeup like never before. What do you think is really happening? Let us know in the comments. If you found this insight valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss Peter Schiff's latest predictions. Big moves are coming. Stay ahead of the game.